Hey guys, I'm Jade from MoonSwap, and it's such a pleasure to meet you all here, and really look forward to our discussion today. Thanks.
Welcome, Jade. Next, we have Eric Chang, the co-developer from OKChain. Eric, can
we... Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Eric. I'm currently active developer for the OKEX chain, and I'm happy to talk with you guys, and I'm looking forward to the discussion. Thank you.
Welcome, Eric. Okay, next we have Zhang Miao, partner of AMM-DEX. Zhang.
Hi, Jane will be fine. Jane from AMM-DEX. Thanks for having me.
Well, welcome. Okay, thank you for all the panelists to participate from us. It's such a global forum actually. Today, our topic would be focused on the Layer-2 solution. As we know that just now I checked the price of ETH. It is standing at around $1,300. This is close to its all-time high. This is quite amazing. And we know that everybody in this industry is quite amazed by how robust the ETH is rising recently. But still, the one problem with Ethereum network is that the soaring price of the gas fee. I think every one of us have experienced this problem. Last year, we have seen the decentralized finance growing quite fast, but also many people also are lamenting that the gas fee is so high, and for some people, the one transaction the gas fee reached around $100, even more, and that is kind of that is the issue the industry is trying to solve. So we have this context, and the market is paying more and more attention to Ethereum Layer 2 solutions. Of course, the Ethereum team is trying to work out its solution, but still, before the ETH 2.0 come out, so we are looking for other solutions. And that is why we are here today, and we have the pioneers in the Layer 2 solutions with us in this discussion. So at the very beginning, I would like to open the floor to every one of you, that you can make a brief introduction about what your project is doing and how it is related to Layer 2 solutions. So can we start from Matic? Yeah. So can we start from how about Jay? Jay, can we start from your introduction?
Sure. Hey guys, this is Jay. Loopring co-founders and CEO. So Loopring, I think Loopring founded back in 2017, and we were a DEX protocol. And then after 2 years development, we start to find out scaling solution is a big problem for Ethereum community. So we start to look into different solutions, side chains, layer 2, and then we find out this ZK rollup solutions. We think that's so far we believe that's the best because it provides a same security level as Ethereum mainnet. And I think we are the first layer 2 integrate decentralized exchange in the world. Launched our protocol back in 2019, and right now our DEX offer over 3,000 TPS with less than 1 cent transaction cost per trade. And about ZK rollup, I won't go too deep about technology because I'm not a technical person, but to let people to better understand ZK rollup, I will give you a very simple explanation. So we know on the layer one, people put all the work, computation, data, everything into one block, and it takes ages to persist, especially when there's a lot of transaction going to persist. But for a zero knowledge proof, we only put the data and the verification and the proofs into the block, and leave all the rest computation work off the chain. So this can massively increase TPS on the mainnet. For example, you think you are in the bank, you have to say deposit or withdraw your money, and there's only two windows available, and there's 100 people are lining up for the queues. Then it takes ages. It takes maybe each person may take 5 minutes. So it's going to take 250 minutes, and then think there's a one person come up himself and start to collect all the information and request from all the customers. Then he will sum up all the requests from the customers and all merge into one balance sheet. So he can help all the customers to submit all the requests into the counter, and then that only takes say 5 minutes. And this is how it works. So we save all the 99 transaction into one transactions to massively increase the effectiveness and productivities. Thanks. If you still don't understand, I can give you another example.
Yeah, but I think please share the example a little bit later. We have the question to you can share your cases and you can share data. Let's talk about it later. Okay, Jay. Yeah. Okay. So the next can Jade from MoonSwap. Can you share about what your project is doing?
Okay, hey everyone. So MoonSwap is actually an AMM-DEX running on Layer-2 and running on Conflux. It's infrastructure of Layer-2. So basically how we cut the gas fee on Ethereum is basically, people send their ERC20 asset to Conflux, and the Conflux swap it into C token, which is a type of ERC777 asset. And then C token is able to enjoy the high speed and zero gas trading experience on MoonSwap. And also, apart from an AMM-DEX swapping, trading and liquidity provision, we also expanded our services to NFT and gaming and other services like that. That's basically a brief introduction to MoonSwap.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, Jade. The next one can, okay, let's come to Clay Swap. Can you come and introduce?
Hi, actually, ClaySwap is running on Clayton, not Ethereum. So it is directly related to the gas problems today topic, but introduce about ClaySwap first, then I'm going to follow those kind of issues. And ClaySwap is running on Clayton, and it's the first decentralized automated liquidity protocol in the Clayton ecosystem. And ClaySwap is basically the AMM-based decentralized exchange, and not only deals with Clayton-based assets, but also deals with Ethereum-based asset through a decentralized bridge called Orbit. And briefly explain more about the ClaySwap since its launch in November 2020. ClaySwap has become a uniquely powerful liquidity protocol in the Clayton ecosystem, and we've been able to achieve tremendous results, including a total value locked of $150 million US, and an average daily trading volume of 10 million US dollars. Even so, we are working interestedly to provide a better service environment with Clayton team. Yes, it's about ClaySwap. Yes.
Thank you, K1.
Yeah.
Next one can Jane. Jane, can you introduce
Okay,
AMM-DEX?
cool. Yeah. Hi, guys. So AMM-DEX is a decentralized perpetual swap exchange, and so we're working on the decentralized derivative market. And right now, our mainnet is still on the Ethereum L1, which is quite painful to us because our traders is very sensitive to the gas fee because there is leverage involved. And so right now, like we are working on our V3, which will be built on the Arbitrum rollup. And yeah, I guess that's it. So we're gonna have a mainnet launch in about like 1 or 2 months. Yeah, so pretty much about it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jane. Next one can Sammy from Conflux.
Sure. Yeah.
Sammy from Conflux, can you introduce?
Sure. So Jade did a bit of an intro. So MoonSwap is a AMM-DEX that's running on Conflux. So I'll just give a brief rundown of what Conflux is doing for L2. So we are also similar to Clayton. We're providing an asset bridge, which is called Shuttle Flow, and a way we're kind of separating ourselves from other competition is our sidechain provides zero gas trading. So on top of like having low fees to little fees, there's going to be zero gas when you're doing a trade on MoonSwap. On top of that, we're also looking at extending our asset bridge to include other assets. So on top of solving the scaling problem for Conflux, where for Ethereum assets, we're also going to be expanding it to probably Polkadot assets soon, looking at other chains also, so that people who are bridging their ERC20 tokens can also bridge tokens from other chains, other networks. So Conflux can sort of be a hub, and MoonSwap eventually will turn into a cross-chain DAO where any ERC20 token, any DOT token, any BEP20 token on the Binance chain, eventually the plan is to expand it into any token. Another feature we're adding soon to our chain, which makes it a bit more distinguished, is the ability for anyone to wrap any token, any ERC20 onto our chain. So there's going to be a permissionless listing feature that's being worked on now, where if anyone's interested in wrapping any ERC20 token on Conflux and they want to create a liquidity pool for it on MoonSwap, they'll be able to do that. It'll be sort of like an easy, quick setup. So we're not limiting ourselves to just the big tokens like Link and ETH and Bitcoin, and we're looking to expand to any ERC20 they want.
Okay. Thank you, Sammy. Okay, can Eric can make an introduction?
Okay. Hello everyone. I'm Eric. I'm from OKEX chain. OKEX chain just launched its mainnet last Friday. Actually, OKEX chain is an independent public chain built on the Cosmos framework. So OKEX chain has a focus. It's a public chain. It can work whatever other public chain can work, but OKEX chain has a focus. Its focus is on trading. So actually, OKEX chain doesn't very interested in other things like the game or NFT such things. Its focus is trading. OKEX chain aims to build up a platform to cover all kinds of trading, like the spot trading, the future trading, the contract, the option trading, and such things. That is OKEX chain. I'm the developer from OKEX chain. Thanks everyone.
I think you're on mute.
I think you might be on mute.
Okay, next one, Aaron, can you make a brief introduction about your platform?
Yeah, great. Thank you, man.
Yeah, so my name is Arun Phillips. I head a lot of the marketing and community initiatives at Matic Network. And we are basically a proof of stake hybrid plasma chain that actually is on L2. And we've launched our mainnet last year. We've seen massive adoption. We've seen this demand for really those fast transaction fees, but security that is backed by Ethereum. And one thing we have an advantage with is that our network is 100% EVM compatible, which means that a developer can, in under 15 minutes, move their app from Ethereum to Matic. So that's what the journey so far has been. There have been some crazy successes with Polymarket, which has done more than 60 million in volume. And now that is the focus for us is we know Layer 2 can enable this brilliant user experience, but we're going one step further with things like meta transactions, taking away this whole blockchain complexity away from the user and helping games, DeFi protocols to deliver this awesome experience. So yeah, glad to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aaron. Yes. After let's come to these questions because the gas fee is really a big problem. All of us are trying to tackle right now. With this skyrocketing gas fee, how do you guys think about this? Think about this problem because it's really high. How do you view this problem? Let's start from Jay once again. Hello, Jay. Oh, okay. Jade, from MoonSwap, can you share your ideas about this skyrocketing gas fee? How do you think about this?
Well, I think we've seen some of the great increase in gas fee on Ethereum since probably last June and July. And at one point, it reached even more than $100 for interacting with a DeFi protocol. And on one hand, I think it is a good sign because it indicates the rapidly growing DeFi ecosystem, and I guess it is a good piece of news for all of us working in this industry. However, on the other hand, it is inevitably stopping many users from interacting with some DeFi products, and in return, to some extent, in limiting the growth and expansion of the whole DeFi universe. And some DeFi projects have realized the high gas fee problem, and it is not only restricting their user volume growth, but also restricting them from expanding their business opportunities and also services. So, as a low gas fee and even zero gas fee solution, MoonSwap have already had many teams reaching out to us for low gas solutions, and they are considering, migrating from layer 1 to layer 2. And I guess makes great sense, and it is very meaningful for us to have this meeting today here and exchange opinions on how we can tackle this problem and on what solutions we have at this stage. Thanks.
Yes, thank you, Jay. How about Kongwang? Kongwang Park from ClaySwap? How do you think about the gas price?
Yes.
Kongwang?
Yes. I think everyone knows here now. The main reason for the rapid increase in gas fee in Ethereum, which started last summer, is decentralized finance, the innovative financial content. And it has received a large attention from the market, in particular as enormous liquidity was supplied to the AMM-based decentralized exchange first. And users not only participate in the yield farming, but also consumed huge transactions aimed at arbitrage in the liquidity pool where price gaps with the outside world occurred. So Ethereum, which handles only 13 transactions per second, could not easily process such tremendous transactions. And as you all know that Ethereum, which adopts the auction method as a price policy to distribute this rare transaction volume, it has a structure in which gas fee is proportional to the amount of transactions increased. And of course, when looking at decentralized finance itself, I think this is the right direction that smart contract based applications in public chains should move forward. And I believe it is very positive that the storage, transmission, and transactions of various digital assets or cryptocurrencies that exist in the public chain are secured through the smart contracts. And the economic system is derived and expanded in connection with other smart contracts. But skyrocketing gas fee, today's topic, in Ethereum, due to this competitive method, the auction method can be a high entry barrier for general users, especially those who want to experience a new blockchain-based application or blockchain itself. Also, among those who want to participate in the innovation of decentralized finance, gas fees can be the biggest hurdle for those who have a small amount. For example, if a person holding US Tether worth $100 has to pay $100 worth of ETH to deposit the asset in a liquidity pool, then he or she will definitely stop getting experience. So it means the rising gas fee can be seen as drawing a limit to the expansion of the innovative financial ecosystem building on Ethereum or other blockchains. Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Q1. Exactly, the gas fee is the biggest hurdle. We urgently need a solution. Yeah. Next
Right.
one, yeah, and Jane, can you share your ideas about this issue?
Oh, hey, yeah, right. So we are like the app developers. I've mentioned that like we have suffering a lot from Ethereum at once. So we've been actively looking for L2 solutions. And yeah, I will share in perspective of the app developer, like what we care when we are looking for L2 solutions. So there are basically like several aspects. The first one is a product readiness, and the second one is the decentralization, and the third one will be whether they are developer friendly. If we are moving to the L2, how much like engineer work that does require, and the fourth one will be like the of course the fee and the performance of the L2 solutions. Yeah, I guess like the gas fee high is mostly like caused by the farming, but that is the economic model for the Ethereum, right? And I will use assumption like so it's more like the internet industry in 1998. Like we still use a modem to use internet, but there are already like many websites running and developing quite fast. So I guess it's a good thing that push the involvement of the Ethereum and push the app developers like us to actively looking for L2 solutions and maybe other chains. So yeah, I guess that's it. You're mute, I think.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Thank you, Jane. Sammy, how do you think about this issue?
Yeah, I can speak on it from two ends really. I guess what we've been experiencing. I guess for the two ends is the user and then there's the developer, right? For the user, it's like K1 was saying, like it's actually it's reached a point where if someone's looking at the Ethereum price and they say, hey, I want to get into DeFi, I want to explore Uniswap and all these different protocols, it gets to a point where it's like, okay, I'm ready to make my first trade. It costs $4 to approve the transaction, and then it costs what, like $60 almost for some people. Like at times, it can go up to $60 for the trader, right? The initial deposit that they put in is just all wasted on gas, right? And that's not what DeFi is about, right? DeFi is about enabling like financial models, financial ecosystems for people who don't traditionally have access to banks and savings account, whatever it could be, right? So for me, like when I look at the DeFi ecosystem now, I guess for me, I'm more comfortable. Like I'm okay with. I understand why the gas prices have reached this, and it's a good thing for crypto in general that the network is congested, right? I think we all one day imagined that it would get to this point where it's um, the network is just like completely congested and unusable at points, right? Um, so for new traders, I think it's really like it's really harming the ecosystem. And I encourage like everyone I show like crypto to is like, like we shouldn't just be buying it on the centralized exchanges and then just like holding it there, right? There's so many opportunities when you take it onto your own self-hosted wallet and explore DeFi. And with gas fees, that's kind of just it's kind of unattainable right now, right? um, for developers, it might even be a bigger roadblock, right? For developers, they're looking at Ethereum, they're looking at all the opportunities. Like I can make a dApp, I can put the governance onto the community, but then when they start getting into it, when they start deploying stuff on mainnet, then the gas costs really ramp up, right? And they end up having to like raise funds almost, because it's not just something where I can just go on Remix and write a dApp and deploy it and just expect like everything to go smoothly from there. Like it is a big cost to get a full dApp running on on Ethereum. And then you have to worry about the audit, and you have to worry about this and that. So the gas cost should be the least, like the smallest priority for anyone, right? I guess um, that also led us to make sure that when we made Conflux, that we made sure that it's EVM compatible. We wanted to make sure that if someone's looking at making a dApp on Conflux, we want them to have the exact same experience that they would have on Ethereum. So we want them to have all the ERC20 tokens that they love and they enjoy working with. We want to make sure that there's the governance tools that enable governance platforms. We want to make sure that gas costs are not 10 cents or not 1 cent. We want to make sure that gas costs are actually zero, so that the people who have no idea what they're doing and they're just experimenting and testing it out, we want to make sure that when they come on, like they're not looking at the gas cost and they don't have to add that into their total trade, right? Um, yeah, I mean it's a good thing, but it's a bad thing at the same time. And I think like meetings like this are really important, right? Because one of the big complaints about L2 and scaling in general is that, oh, everyone's gonna have a very isolated market, and some chains are gonna be here, some chains are gonna be there. They're not working together. But I think we're all at a point where it's sort of like we're all. I mean, I've talked to a few of the projects here today already, right? Uh, we're all making sure that like the next stage of DeFi, the stage where we're not talking about gas costs and congestion, we're gonna make sure that like it is a very composable ecosystem, and we're trying to eliminate this whole idea of like tribalism, like everyone sticking on one chain, right? Um,
Yeah.
yeah, that's all I'll say for now. I'm sure we'll get into other questions. I could talk about this stuff forever.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Okay. Next one, can we? Jay from Loopring, can you share your idea on the skyrocketing gas fee? And do you think the landscape would change somewhat this year? Jay, can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Totally agree. I think it's a good problem. It is a problem, but it is a good problem. I think as long as we can solve this problem, it can be scaled like 100x or even like 1000x. Um, like there's like tons of like traditional financial institutes has been looking into Ethereum blockchains, and the only thing right now Ethereum want to prove is scalabilities, and Metallic has also been talk about scaling solution is possible for Ethereum blockchain, not just waiting for the Ethereum 2.0, but the ZK roll-up solution is right now is already available to the communities. Um, so I don't want to shield, but I just want to say, look, they are like ZK Rob, Optimistic Rob is now available. As many apps, us, um, and Thinkedix, and many more is already using ROPS technology, also AMM-DEX. Sorry. So come and give a shot. Though it's still in a very early stage, there are a lot of small issues, but I think I think this year I think most of DeFi will start to either start migrating or finish migration on Layer 2. So it will be huge for Ethereum block communities. The only problem is which Layer 2 solution are you going to choose? Matic, ZK Rock, Optimistic Rock. So I think they all have pros and cons. It's just like there's a lot of nice food, but I don't eat spicy food. That means spicy food is not good. Um, but I think once like all the DeFi start to move on to Layer 2 solutions, scalability issue will be solved, then we're looking into the next question is bridging, composabilities, and all those kind of questions. So yeah, so it's good questions, and the solution is already there.
Thank you, Jay. And we really look forward to this year. I think that 1 year is enough to make lots of changes to this solution. I think, yeah. Next one, Aaron from Matic. Can you share your idea about it?
Yeah, and, yeah. So I think, I mean, on a personal level, when gas fees hit, so I just took all my yield farming, took it to the farms on Matic, and I took my bets, placed them on Polymarket. So I think it's just awesome that right now we are in a time where we have that option. We have an option for an L2. We have somewhere to go where gas prices are high. Like I think 1-2 years back, we had no option. We could just sit there and wait, watch our Etherscan transaction complete. So it's cool that we have so many multiple options, amazing people building in the space. But I think, yeah, definitely it is disappointing that final vision of Ethereum is we wanted to become the world's computer, right? And a world's computer can't run this slow. So I think that's where all of these L2s come in. And I think like Gene was mentioning some points that developers were looking for earlier. So I think we're glad that I was just checking my list of, okay, does Matic take this? Does Matic take this? So I'm glad to like see that Matic ticked all those things you mentioned about decentralization, about developer support. But yeah, I think, I mean, Ethereum will definitely be the core at the center of all this. It will be these different L2 solutions, trying different things, trying these approaches. But finally, we know that that final vision is to help that computer be the best computer possible, right? So that's just our job is supporting that.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Aaron. Eric.
Okay, I can hear you. So I think the high gas fee is something we could predict, and if the Ethereum ecosystem become more and more popular, and given the structure of Ethereum blockchain, there is a block gas limit for each block. So that specifies a limit of how much transaction a block can handle. So that defines the throughput of the entire Ethereum blockchain. So that is to say, if the ecosystem in the Ethereum blockchain explodes and become more and more popular, and there has to be something like high gas fee. So because more and more transactions are waiting there to get on chain, so they will compete with each other, and it's a very competitive to raise the gas fee they are willing to pay. So that actually is something resulted from the infrastructure of the Ethereum blockchain. But I think the high gas fee of Ethereum is something good that could benefit the entire blockchain community. It is because of the high gas fee. Some of the debts, like the GANs, those debts cannot be very popular in Ethereum because you cannot pay $20 or $30 to play a game on the blockchain. That is nonsense. So those developers and will leave Ethereum and search for other public blockchain for their decentralized application. So it is a high gas fee that gives other blockchain an opportunity to participate in the entire blockchain system, like the Polkadot, the OKEX chain, and all of those other blockchain will share an opportunity of increase. And I think The high gas fee is cannot a good thing to benefit for other blockchain.
Okay, thank
That's
you.
all. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Okay, after we analyzed the problem with gas fee and our forecast for this year, and next I would like to go into this to ask everyone that what is the solution of your platform to solve this gas fee, the high gas fee problem. I hope that you can go into details about this solution, and also I would like invite all of you to introduce some cases and some data to share with us. Okay, let's start from um, Jade. Jade MoonSwap, can you introduce your solution and also some cases data?
Okay, as I had mentioned before, MoonSwap is an AMA that's running on Conflux, and Conflux is a Layer-2 solution provider, and I guess Sammy from Conflux will be a better person to answer how we reduce transaction fee from a more technical standpoint. So basically, from my understanding, and Sammy can correct me if I'm wrong. So basically, is that ERC20 assets enter Conflux blockchain and be swapped into C token. C token is a type of ERC 777 asset. And the C token is able to be traded and swapped and provide liquidity on MoonSwap with zero gas fee.
Yeah.
And in terms of data and statistics, MoonSwap at this stage have two main trading applications. First is AMM-DEX and other is NFT market. And it has been around 120 days since the launch of MoonSwap, and we have processed a total of 250,000 transactions, including swapping, transfer, adding, and removing liquidity. And we have at least saved 4.5 million USD for users in gas fee. And at the same time, as a very important part of MoonSwap ecosystem, Moon Gaming also launched Columbus SDK, which can help traditional game developers who don't necessarily have blockchain-related knowledge to easily develop games on MoonSwap ecosystem. And game has been regarded as one of the most suitable scenarios for block applications since as early as 20s. It needs to handle high frequency on-chain transactions. So in many cases, these transactions do not aim to profit. Gaming transactions do not aim to profit. So that low gas fee or zero gas fee is very important for games on blockchain. So now Moonso has expanded its service into another new service, which is, and we have launched the Con Dragon, an NFT game, and it has already completed integration with Columbus SDK, and we are looking forward to the development of this field, and we look forward to see how much gas fee we can save for game players in this field. And we aim to save more gas fee for users going forward. Thanks.
I think I can add on to what Jade said there because we're kind of on the same team here, Moonswap and Conflux. And I guess to not even get too technical into it, but more just to like give everyone an overview of the project and like some of the stuff we're working on in the future to improve it is like Jade was saying, it is an asset bridge at the moment. It's pretty similar to other L2s, other side chains where you send an ERC20 token to a cold wallet and then nodes from the other blockchain or the other side chain read that and mint the at a one for one rate onto the other chain, right? Um, so I guess instead of like talking about that too much because it's kind of simple, I'll just talk a bit about like what we're planning in the future. So we actually partnered up with Harvest Finance. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with them. Harvest Finance, we're looking at other few DeFi protocols so that when people send their token to the shuttle flow smart contract where it would get staked originally and sit there and not do anything, they now have the option to opt into investing it in Harvest. So when someone actually puts the token into the smart contract, it'll be earning interest on Harvest. And when they withdraw out of the Conflux chain back onto Ethereum with their original ERC20, they will be getting the original amount they put in plus all the farm tokens and all the other interest they gained. So that's something we're planning on implementing in the future. I'm pretty sure uh, we're in development with the Harvest team. It's they're they have a few developers there, so it's coming along smoothly. Hopefully, it should be out by like the end of this month or beginning of next month. Um, Another thing we're offering, which is a bit unique, is the zero gas, like I mentioned before. So we the reason we wanted to go with zero gas, and I'll go over a bit how it works, is because when we are showing our chain to new users, and we're showing our chain to people who've never actually probably even used something like Uniswap, something like Maker before, we don't want them to even think about the gas cost. So what we have is actually something called the transaction sponsorship mechanism, where it's a smart contract where the creator of the dApp can put a few Conflux tokens in, and all the transaction they do will be sponsored by that pool of CFX tokens that they initially put up. Now, this might seem like a bit expensive for a dApp creator to do, but the thing is, it's like other L2s where you're paying like half a cent for transactions, right? So in the end, these transactions actually like that pool of CFX tokens runs a long time. um, what's something else that we're doing? So a lot of people don't like the centralized aspect of L2. Some people claim that a lot of the upcoming L2s could be centralized, and not a lot of people are fans of like DPoS and stuff along that nature, right? So Conflux is actually proof of work, which surprises a lot of people when I say that. We're sticking with the old Bitcoin mechanism. um, we've made a few changes to the Nakamoto consensus where we can scale transactions up to like 3,000 TPS, and anyone at home can get their like AMD and start mining, and anyone can approve your transaction, right? So when what we're doing a bit different from other L2s is we're not depending on a set list of miners to basically approve our transactions. We're opening it up to anyone who wants to become, a miner and start earning block rewards and transaction fees. And also, if the asset bridge itself, we're exploring. We're doing some research now where we're exploring how we can make this bridge more decentralized, right? Um, to compare it to something, I would say it's kind of similar to TBTC if people are familiar with that. So anyone can be a staker in uh, the tokens that are getting wrapped onto Conflux. We're not going to be depending on a few centralized parties to be the holders of this cold wallet, this multi-sig wallet that holds your assets when they're on Ethereum. We're planning on opening this up so that anyone can stake some assets and uh, be the node providers that actually approve the transactions on Conflux. And that way, when your tokens are on Conflux, you never have to worry that there's one or two people who are controlling the wallet where my Ethereum tokens are sitting, and it's a more secure system basically. To get into traction, it's picked up recently. So obviously, MoonSwap is one of the leading dApps on Conflux. We also have lending protocols with Flux 01. We also have gaming with Condragon. We have insurance with INS3. So there's lots of dApps coming up on Conflux. MoonSwap was like the original partner who chose to come launch on our chain, right? They have over 6 million total locked value right now. Um, like Jade was saying, I think it was 4.5 million has been saved in gas, and total transaction time itself compared to the Ethereum average Uniswap transaction, they users have actually saved, I have it here, 900,000 minutes um, in waiting for transaction times to process. So we think like obviously protocols like MoonSwap and our lending protocol and our insurance platform, like they see these numbers and they're encouraged by that, and they think that this is a general solution to having to launch on Ethereum, right? So we're happy with the traction we're getting so far.
Okay. Thank you, Sammy. I know that Conflux is partnering with MoonSwap, and your TPS is quite amazing, quite fast, and you save lots of gas fee. That is yeah, we can maybe this is a good solution. Zero gas fee. You are realizing this goal already. Thank you, Sammy.
No
And next
problem.
one, let's come to Jane. Jane, can you share about what MCDEX is doing to for the layer 2 solution, and can you introduce the cases and data with us?
Yeah, for sure. Actually, Sammy has mentioned something about the decentralization. Like as mentioned, that is something that sorry for that we consider. And actually, like there's no like perfect technology here. Everything we choose is kind of a trade-off. So we need to consider like the lots of things when we are choosing the rollup or other chains. So for NZX, I can share some figure like on Ethereum L1, like we charge the users for the transaction fee, right? And we don't charge the gas fee. So we have to use the transaction fee to cover the gas fee that is paid by NZX. So on Ethereum L1, our current transaction fee is 2%, which is 100 times higher than the central exchanges. So they make us like basically not competitive in the market. So for the L2, right now our team has chosen to use Arbitrum rollup for our V3 mainnet launch. Mm, as far as I know, we have run some tests that the Arbitrum rollup can save us like up to 100 times of the gas fee. So yeah, so that's like one of the advantage of it. But as I mentioned, like as a the app developer, we actually are kind of neutral here. We are looking for L2 rollups, and we are also open to other chains because it's basically like we are an app, and whether we are on the Android or we are on the iOS, so we are neutral here. So we just like hope to use more solutions to serve more potential users. So yeah, so that's pretty much.
Thank you, Jane. Okay, next one Q1, can you introduce about ClaySwap solution?
Right, sure. As I mentioned before, ClaySwap is running on Clayton, which is a public chain developed by a blockchain subsidiary of Kakao, the biggest chat operator in Korea. Clayton actually has many similarities to Ethereum, but there are obvious differences as well. In specific, the gas fee incurred in processing the transactions is one of the reasons the ClaySwap team chose Clayton. And in Ethereum, users set the gas price for each transaction, and miners choose which transactions to be included in their block to maximize their reward. And it often leads to a sharp increase in the gas price, like today. However, Clayton is using a fixed unit price, and the price can be adjusted by the governance council, which is a group operating a consensus node network. This policy ensures that every transaction will be handled equally and be guaranteed to be executed. Therefore, users do not need to struggle to determine the right unit price or pay the high price. And there are two reasons Clayton can use a fixed unit price. First, it has enough processing capacity with 4,000 plus TPS, quite fast. And second, Clayton block is generated every 1 second, so users can check the immediate transaction processing. Thanks to this high capacity with in Clayton, ClaySwap can provide a bit better user experience without the high gas price or struggling of them to the users. Therefore, it may be a good option to create a DeFi ecosystem in heterogeneous chains such as Clayton that currently shows better performance. So, and in particular, financial ecosystems are currently being created in various chains, not only Ethereum, such as Polkadot, Tron, and Neo. And so I think it may be good to take advantage of these opportunities in other public chains. Yes, yeah. This is my opinion. Yeah.
Thank you, Kyung. Next one, Aaron, can you share your idea? And also share about your solution with Matic.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So as I mentioned earlier, Matic is basically a hybrid POS plasma architecture. So what essentially is it is this POS chain where we have these fast transactions, but these transactions are secured by Ethereum. So essentially, you have the security of Ethereum along with fast transactions on that POS layer. And we've seen some great use cases come about actually in the last year since the launch of mainnet. We have 80 plus dApps that have come on board. We've had 5 million plus transactions. And some of the notable names that we've seen are Polymarket, which is one of the biggest blockchain betting platforms, prediction market platforms right now. So they did around $60 million, more than $60 million in volume, especially during the whole election cycle. And how they used Matic essentially is they use something called meta transactions, where the user is not directly interacting with the blockchain or they have to switch from layer one to layer two. All of that complexity is being abstracted away with meta transactions. We have partners called Biconomy. So the user essentially stays on L1 itself. They don't have to switch anything in their network, and but they still get to use these cheap transactions, these low cost transactions. So that is one way, and Biconomy is actually offering dApps that build on Matic free gas fees for the users if they come on till March. So that is one interesting thing that we have going on. And I think Matic mainly ticks all of those boxes with a sort of decentralization that we were looking at. So Matic will be completely decentralized by the end of January. There will be no more nodes, validator nodes run by the foundation. All nodes will be run by external validators, and it's users of the network that are delegating to Matic. So that's one way we are taking care of the decentralization problem. And another focus of ours is this really strong focus on developer support. So you'll see that just moving from Ethereum to Matic is so easy. In less than 15 minutes, you can deploy your code. And we've recently seen some awesome integrations from Aave, which recently had their interest-bearing tokens. So similarly to the concept that Sami was talking about earlier, but basically their Aave tokens, which are interest-earning tokens, they are moved to the L2, but they earn interest. They increase in value while they are on L2, but once you move them back to Ethereum, you essentially get the interest that they would have earned. So because of this compatibility between Ethereum, between Matic, we're seeing a lot of awesome use cases. One particular story I actually want to share is actually how Abegochi. So we're seeing a lot of these communities. Abegochi is this super famous game in blockchain, amazing collectibles game. So their community basically came together before their mainnet launch. They were like, hey, we don't want this to launch on mainnet. This is not going to be sustainable. We can't have every raffle, every claim item on Ethereum. So their community came together, decided as a whole to skip the whole Ethereum launch and launch directly on Matic. And there's like a whole $100,000 liquidity farming on Matic that's going to be happening from the end of this month. But I think essentially that's what we're seeing. Communities are realizing that there are solutions to these problems we're facing, and they are demanding it from the projects. And we're seeing a lot of projects come over to Matic as well. Yeah. Over to you now. I think you may be muted.
I'm sorry, I'm mute just now. Next one, Eric. We would like to know more about OKE Exchange solution.
Okay. So actually, OKEx chain is an independent chain, and it is an independent public chain. So the TPS of OKEx chain is about 1,000, and it has a different mechanism for handling the transactions. And for the Ethereum blockchain, the actual limit for the throughput is a block gas limit, but for the OKEX chain, there are two parameters that limit the throughput of OKEX chain. The first the first parameter is the size of the block. The size of the block of OKEX chain is 21 megabytes. The 21 megabytes. The second parameter is the size of a memory pool. So what is the memory pool? And there are a lot of transactions waiting there to get on chain. And those transactions waiting to get on chain are put in the memory pool. And the memory pool can the maximum size, maximum number of transactions this memory pool can hold is about 2,000 transactions. So the block size and the size of the memory pool, those two parameters together limit the throughput of the OKEX chain. OKEX chain launched its mainnet last Friday, and through the test, we found that we roughly have a TPS limit about 1,000, and during our daily transaction is about several hundred. So that typically this could be useful. That is enough for OKEX chain at the current stage. And as I said before, OKEX chain is not a public chain that for every kind of decentralized application. It has a focus on trading. So maybe in the future, more the DEX connected related to the trading, like the derivative trading, the future trading, the option trading, the spot trading, I will move to our OKEX chain, and that's 1,000 TPS may be enough for those trading applications. Thank you.
Also, Eric, can you share some cases or data with OKEX chain?
OKEX chain. As I said before, the block size is 21 megabytes, and the block size of the Bitcoin is 1 megabyte. So as you know, it's much bigger, and it could handle a lot of transactions. And OKEX chain has its own net token, net OKT. OKEX chain deploys the deep delegated DPoS, delegated proof of stake. So it has a 21 validators for that for state the block and propose a new block, and actually block the blockchain OKEX chain is very new to the world, and it's only come to the world for 1 week. So there are a lot of actual data that we are not we don't know the exact correct data for those parameters.
Okay, thank you, Eric. Jay from Loopring. Yeah, can you come and share the cases with your solution and some data?
Yeah, sure, no problem. Our solution is very clear. ZK Rob. Also, you can call it ZK Snacks. Yeah, we use a technology called zero knowledge proof to scale up the Ethereum TPS about data. So we launched the liquid mining pool in 2 weeks ago. No, I think it was 3 weeks ago. And it is the first Layer-2 liquid mining campaigns on Layer-2 blockchain. And now on our Layer-2, we have about over 100 million TVL, total volume locked on our Layer-2. I think it's pretty impressive number.
100 million? Wow.
Yes, in like 3 weeks time, and we have around, I think, nearly 5,000 new registers coming to our Layer-2 in the past 3 weeks. But we have been running our DEX for over it launched in February, end of February last year. So it's almost a year. But at the beginning it was for purely testnet, so we kind of limit the users until like 3 months ago. We go full speed, like full swing. Um, the data is growing every day, which is good. But to be honest, like if we look up the entire ecosystems, the active traders for in DeFi is about like 5,000 addresses, probably even less than 500 people, because some people hold more than one addresses. Like me personally, I hold like 10 addresses, trade actively. Uh, so the entire DeFi space is still very tiny and it has a lot of potential. Um, and I would say why we stay on Ethereum blockchain system. We were agnostic, but we tried to deploy our protocol on other blockchain. It wasn't very successful, but I still believe we should be agnostic. Um, um, and we might it, so maybe in the future, if we want to try different blockchains, like high scalable blockchains, we might looking for other like bridging solutions if they can support like token swap or the other like bridging technologies. Um, yeah, this is a suggestion for Sammy. uh, uh, and it's also for a lot of projects because like for a project like us, we don't hold we don't we got motivated because we all hold ethers. This is why we develop on the Ethereum blockchain. If there's a better one, especially if we hold quite um, quite a bit the token in our pocket, we definitely will be incentivized to developing the different ecosystems. Um, and back to our ZK Rock technology, as I say at the beginning, it's very simple. Think about how you make a transactions or make a transfer right now on the Ethereum blockchain. You put all the work into one block, but right now we try to split the work into different sections. We remove all the computation work off the blockchain using a Merkle tree, and then only put the proofs and data on the blockchain, so people still can check the balance of the data anytime on the blockchain, but all the computation is being done off-chain, which can massively reduce the block size and the gas cost over 1,000 times. As example I gave to you previously, um, um, if if the banks only open 2 windows and then there's 100 people waiting for withdraw or deposit, then we have this relayer, a third party, to collect all the requests and then all help all those 98 customers to submit transaction to one. So this is how it works for ZK Rollup. Very simple.
Thank you, Jay. Well, thank you very much. My next question is about Ethereum 2.0. This is a big thing in this industry. While we are working trying to work out the layer 2 solutions, Ethereum 2.0 is also moving forward quite fast. What do you guys think about Ethereum 2.0? And if it is successful, I think would it be in conflict with what you're doing right now? And have you ever thought about how do these two solutions can live together? Can we start with Jane?
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so I think like Ethereum 2.0 is all about scaling. Like the final goal is to scale. So I think like both sharding and roll up are a kind of scaling. Like sharding is more like scale out, and roll up is more like scale up. So in my point of view, it's just like different strategies to achieve the final goal. So in terms of like how I look at it, so like conservatively speaking, I think if 2.0 will take a couple of years to be yeah to be ready. So like but for the roll up, as far as I know, like both optimism and arbitrum will be ready in like maybe 1 or 2 months. So from the marketing side, I think the market is the king. Like you need to be ready as far as possible to take the market. So yeah, I don't know. Like from the technical like speaking, I think both of them can support each other because Bitleak has like kind of adjusted roadmap to support the roll-up. So in the long-term way, I think the sharding and the roll-up can kind of support each other. They will like exist at the same time. But like for the short-term speaking, I think in 1 year or two, roll-up could be more like trending than the ETH 2.0.
Thank you, Jane. We will take another few years. So, okay. Next one, can Sammy share your idea about this Ethereum 2.0?
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess I'll start by like saying like I'm pretty sure everyone here like I use Ethereum every day. We all use Ethereum all the time, right? I hope that they launch soon, right? Like we all kind of want Ethereum 2.0 to come out just to help grow crypto, right? But I mean, it would be unrealistic to say that it's gonna be fully operational for a while, right? Um, and I think for our chain, at least for Conflux, like we don't. I mean, a good use case right now is providing L2 DeFi solutions, right? But with our chain, like we're in such a unique position. I guess for those who don't know, Conflux is the only public and permissionless blockchain in China that's supported by the government. So we have a lot of unique use cases that are coming out of that partnership alone. We actually just received like a $5 million grant from the Shanghai municipal government for growing R&D and expanding like Chinese blockchain opportunities. So we're not boxing ourselves in just to DeFi. Actually, we're exploring lots of different use cases. We want to be like a very open to different ideas, and we don't want to just come in and just like just copy Ethereum and just do exactly what Ethereum's doing, right? So, I mean, we hope that like by the time Ethereum 2.0 launches and rolls out, like we'll have our own DeFi ecosystem. It'll be operational. It'll be running fast. All of that fun stuff. But um, we're looking to like the next use cases, right? Like for our chain at least, and we want to expand like the use of our chain beyond DeFi. Actually, I'll give a good example. We were talking about this with our team now, like uh, especially with this pandemic, like the opportunity to capitalize on like blockchain gaming, like Aaron was saying, like with Avgachi, which is like a project I love, right? Like blockchain gaming, like we can't wait like 3 more years for ETH 2.0 to come out with to support something like blockchain gaming, right? Like could you imagine like if you were to go on like the Fortnite store and then you had to pay $4 to give them permission to spend your credit card, and then you had to pay like $30 to just buy the skin for Fortnite, right? Like it's just unattainable right now, and the time to capitalize on certain markets and certain areas that blockchains traditionally like it would just be crazy to say that they could capture more market share of these traditional economies, right? But I think the opportunity is now, right? And like the chains are here, like the technology is here. Like you see all these great projects, like Conflux is doing proof of work scaling, and you have Matic, doing awesome stuff. Like they're slowly decentralizing, and then we're talking about like optimism, ZK rollups, all that fun stuff, right? Um, like the time is now, right? And these people like getting into crypto, like this bull run, like the developers are here. Like we can all say that like we've all been talking to like a lot of developers, and like the developers are ready to start building, right? So it's a thing for Ethereum that like if they don't really speed up the process of ETH 2.0, it's going to be a very like the other chains will find their product market fit, and Ethereum will probably have to stick to one market or another, whether that's DeFi or whatever the next use case is next year, right? Social tokens, maybe something like that. But that's like totally fair, right? Like we're all working on composability, and it's gonna be a multi-chain world. I don't think any at this point, like just looking at Ethereum, like we all know it's gonna be a multi-chain world, right? So um, it's not really a threat to any scaling solutions. Like we're all gonna have to adapt to it and find our own use cases.
Thank you. Thank you, Sammy. Can Q1, can you share your ideas about Ethereum 2.0?
Oh yeah, sure. In my personal opinion, the limitations to be solved by Ethereum 2.0 is not the only scalability for transaction processing that occurs for many smart contract-based applications. In my opinion, Ethereum 2.0 is the purpose of solving trilemma, scalable, decentralized, and secure that blockchain has intrinsically. In other words, it is not only to increase the efficiency of governance consensus, but to keep the number of groups actually making decisions and proceed as efficiently as possible. Therefore, I think it will take a long time to fully penetrate these concerns and philosophies the blockchain have into Ethereum 2.0. However, as a project working on the heterogeneous chain, and while delivering Ethereum-based assets, we are imagining the appearance of decentralized finance after Ethereum 2.0 is released. Representatively, if the current proof of work consensus algorithm is converted to a proof of stake, the Ethereum ecosystem will basically have a reward rate created on the chain itself. Therefore, there will be many financial products or projects utilizing the reward rate. So we believe that we need to create an environment in which these products or projects can be well integrated with us. And adding more, currently everything is in the idea stage. So we are just focusing on the biggest concern is how to distribute high rewards to users. And in some cases, we developed while watching the market's new attempts, and we continue to follow these parts and create ideas that can work for DeFi fans. So yes, that's my personal opinion.
Thank you, Q1. Thank you. Can Aaron share your idea?
So I think firstly, when we look into 2.0, we have to see that like it doesn't provide infinite scalability. The best case, if you're thinking about shards, it's 64 shards, so 3,200 ETS. That limit, I think that will hit fast, especially looking at the growth of the industry right now. And we're just 0.1% of the whole app market. Like if you look at the whole application market, dApps are just 0.1% right now. So I think layer ones will be good settlement platform, but this business activity, this very kind of ideas, R&D, all this stuff we're talking about, that will happen on layer twos. And even if you look at the cost of transactions, even if they go down 50 times, even 10-cent transactions, for any dApp that has meaningful adoption, this is not good enough, right? And so I think, and like many of us even acknowledge this, so a fully functional version of ETH 2.0, I think that is 1.5 hours, 1 years, 2 years away from now. So there is some time, and for some of the games we have coming on, like Neon District, Abigochi, Mega Crypto Wallace, they need this sort of scalability. They need it now, not in 2 years. So I think layer 2 tools will actually build upon this experience. ETH 2.0 offers, both of them will exist. There will be space for multiple solutions, but we need these solutions now. So most of the dApps will go for them right now.
Okay, thank you, Aaron. And MoonSwap Jade, can you, Jade, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you share your idea about this topic in ETH 2.0?
Ethereum 2.0 is not really conflicting with what we are doing right now. And something we can all agree on is that the most attractive characteristics of DeFi is its composability. And I guess Layer 1 or Ethereum 2.0 provides us with more opportunities to explore the composability when it actually goes live. And there's something we cannot deny that Layer 1 still has a greater variety of DeFi products. And I guess when the day that Ethereum 2.0 finally comes, I guess it will still be a thing. So Layer 1 or Ethereum 2.0 will have many integration opportunities for us for running on Layer 2. And MoonSwap as AMM-DEX and we're still looking into many Layer 1 solutions and DeFi protocols for integration and other kind of collaboration to bring real benefits to our users. So for example, like last month, and I guess let me just mention as well that we announced the Kepler protocol to our community. However, the Kepler protocol is still under development at this stage. With Kepler protocol, assets in MoonSwap can be sent into Layer 1 protocols at this stage, such as Harvest, Compound, RV, to generate more rewards. And at the same time, these assets in MoonSwap can be still used to provide liquidity and also generate liquidity mining rewards in MoonSwap. So in short, the Kepler protocol is a protocol that allows users to effectively use their assets in both Layer 1 and Layer 2 at the same time. And when Ethereum 2.0 goes live, we believe that more and more powerful protocols will be launched on Layer 1. And the Kepler protocol will have more options to enhance users' asset utilization rate and profit realization opportunities through the combination of Layer 1 and Layer 2. And I guess we need to all adopt and flexibly to the upcoming Ethereum 2.0.
Okay, thank you, MoonSwap. Eric, can you share your idea from OK Exchange's point of view?
Okay, of course. So we have Ethereum 2.0, we have Ethereum Layer 2. So Ethereum 2.0 is actually about to change the fundamental factor of the Ethereum. It is actually the Layer 1 solution. So Ethereum 2.0 may take several years to do their work, to change from POW to POS, to do the sharding work. So it will take a very, very long time. It's maybe 1 year, it's maybe 2 years. It's too hard to say how long it will take and what is the exact future of Ethereum 2.0. And blockchain technology is very new to the world, and 1 year or 2 years is a very long time to blockchain community. So we don't know in the next 1 year or 2 years what will happen in the future. So it actually gives the opportunity to other blockchains to develop their ecosystem. First of all, Ethereum has to solve the scalability problem to become the next generation, to be a platform to power all the DEX. So it has to change. It has to have a self-revolution. And at the same time, the 2 year or several year, Ethereum do its self-revolution. Other blockchains will have an opportunity to grasp the decentralized applications. Every other blockchain may have find its place in the blockchain ecosystem, like the OK Exchange. OK Exchange focuses on the trading. It is a trading chain. So maybe some of the trading applications may move to the OKEX chain. If OKEX chain can provide a better developing experience for the developer and provide a lower gas fee for the user. So it's actually, I think, the Ethereum 2.0 will provide opportunity for other blockchains.
Okay, thank you,
That's all.
Eric.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jay, how do you think about, I would like to hear your ideas about ETH 2.0.
Sorry, Jay or Jane?
Jay.
Oh, me? Okay, all right.
Jay.
Okay. Yeah, I do agree all the speakers' point of view. I think I don't need to repeat all those kind of like what's going to happen on 2.0 anymore. 2.0 is still like very long away. We have to wait another at least 3 to 5 years. So I want to say what we're going to see like in the next 3 to 5 years is like, I believe for the Ethereum ecosystems in the future, all the individuals, they were not involved with any like layer one integration or layer one involvement. So like all the individual will be moved to layer two, transaction, tradings, lending, borrowing, and layer one will be more like for institutionals. So they will start to, because they have mass funds, so they will be more into layer one. All the individuals will be moved to layer two for like small amount payment or small amount transactions. That's just my my point of view. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Jay. Why do you think that it would be about 5 years before Ethereum 2.0 really be realized? Why it's 5 years?
It's not like release. I mean, like fully like all the shardings and all like on the final stage, because we know like how Ethereum ecosystem works, right? So they have different teams working in different parts. So it's, to be honest, it's not effective, and Ethereum always surprise us for the postpone and delays. So we shouldn't expect Ethereum 2.0 come very soon. 1.0, Matic even speak for himself that he excused himself as like right now we have the Ethereum 1.5, which is the roll-up solutions. So
okay, thank you for your prediction. Okay, thank you everyone for sharing your ideas and also share about what you do to in this layer 2 solutions. Thank you for your work. And right now we are standing at the beginning of 2021, and we all believe that 1 year can make a huge difference. I'm looking forward to see more of your milestones, your work in this year. So we come to the end of this summit today. Thank you everyone for joining us from Toronto, from Beijing, from South Korea, and from Shanghai, and from India. Thank you everyone. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Have a good day. Bye.
See you soon.
再见。
再见，再见。